where he was teaching till 2013. His main research areas included application of cavitation, ultrasonic atomization, ozonization of vegetable oils, etc. He has published 5 international research papers and has obtained 1 US patent for making of styrene butadiene rubber nanoparticles. And now he is serving as an independent consultant in the chemical engineering industry. But today he is not here to talk about all this. This is all traditional chemical engineering stuff. He is here to talk about his association with animal husbandry, where the insights that he developed while studying chemical engineering helped him to create a truly unique startup. His insight? He looked at buffaloes as a chemical reactor. Just as any chemical reactor has an input and an output, the input to the buffalo is the feed given to the animal and the output is the milk. He has come up with a unique method to produce tailor-made milk as per customers' requirement. The demand for such milk grew, and now he has 22 buffaloes under his care, producing 180 liters of milk every day. To know more about this unique startup, I would like to welcome on the dais Dr. Mohan Patil.
Good evening. Thanks a lot. I would like to thank the major cause, I tell you, because the sector where I am working is absolutely. So that is absolutely a non-glamorous thing. For example, if you go to in my town, generally parents says their children, if you are not studying, you have to go and pull the dung. मराठी सांगायचं असेल तर तुम्ही अभ्यास केला नाही तर म्हशीच्या गोठ्यात जाऊन शेण काढावं लागेल. So that's how, and it's not from right now, it is from beginning. So after graduation, when I came to university for pursuing masters, nobody asked me, why are you going for masters? After PhD, when I went to US, nobody asked me, why you are going to US? But when I started this project, everybody was asking me, why buffaloes? You are a chemical engineer, you are a PhD, you are a research student, blah 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 blah, and you are working with buffaloes. This is not a glamorous thing. Or if you want to go for this, why you studied so much? What is the need? Even without studying, you can have the buffaloes and you know all this kind of stuff. So at that time I realized, I completed PhD, I was a research student, I worked with Pandit sir, and because of all of these things, I could see the real potential of this buffalo business. Okay, so now I am going to tell you two things. First thing, still we are under, means whatever we are right now doing is a laboratory work, it's not a business yet. So I am going to tell you 3 points. Out of that, first point you may feel it's a very philosophical. It's non-technical, but I bet you have not studied it. It is not incorporated in any syllabus. Many of you must have read some, extracurricular books or some stuff. Second part, the study whatever we conducted as a laboratory. And third part, I will talk about the business, what I understood the business. Because generally, in now there are two things. First one is the urban area, so like Pune, Mumbai, and second one is the rural area, like Kolhapur, Kagal, where I live. So the perspective is very different for urban people and rural people to see some entity. So when I completed PhD, my PhD was completed and I was looking for postdoc or job or kind of thing. At that time, the thought process was different. And I am going to tell you, I am going to elaborate the entire thought process because that is important. That you can apply anywhere, for animal husbandry, for agriculture, for your core chemical reaction things, or for software, or doing business, or doing trading kind of stuff, buying chemicals, selling chemicals, whatever it may be. The thought process is unique. For example, when I started working to earn money, actually, Dr. A.B Pandit was my mentor. So, whenever he used to talk, he used to say, don't work for money. But from childhood, we are looking that we have to work for money. We have to work to earn the money because money is the necessity. And unless and until we get sufficient money, we can't do anything. But nobody knows how much is the sufficient. 1 lakh per month is sufficient, 10,000 per month is sufficient, 10 lakh per month is sufficient. Nobody knows, because everybody has their own income level. So whenever I started study this economics, unfortunately that was not taught to me since my first grade to PhD, how to see a rupee or currency or money. So I got a training to earn money, but after that I was unaware about spending the money. So when I was searching for these subjects, I read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, and then I got something from that, the definition of rich and poor, because till that point I was in the position that I will not work for money, because my mentor was saying, don't work for money. Money should be the byproduct, means I will work, but I will get money whatever I need, but I am not working for money. I am working for my happiness. I should be happy after completion of a job, or I should be satisfied, or I will do whatever I like to do. I don't want to work on a gunpoint, kind of thing. So after that I understood the concept of passive income. So I need to get some money for which I am not working. So I will get a time to do whatever I like to do. Some people say make your hobby to earn money, kind of thing. So now this was in 2008, 2009, 2010 kind of thing. So after that, when I started earning money, after some time I realized that I am doing nothing new. Every day I am doing the same thing. My salary is credited at the end of month. I am saving so much. I was having paper. This year I will save this much amount. Next year I will save this much amount. After that I will save this much amount. This much amount of money is required for my home. This much money for my children, and blah blah blah. So I was making that financial calculation on Excel. But that was always incomplete. So I was thinking this is sufficient, but whenever you are incorporating some inclination and all other things, oh, something is wrong. I should earn more money. So I used to think how to earn more money, because the time span is same. So after reading that book, I understood whatever money I am earning right now, that money should earn money for me. Okay, that was the first concept came in my mind. So then I decided one thing: I will not go for job. I will do something which will make money for me, and I want to do whatever I want to do, but money will not be the objective. Then I came back to India. I joined my alma mater. Unfortunately, I was not there for a long time. In 2013, I left from there. And I was deciding, okay, I will retire at 40, I will retire at my 45. Retirement means I will stop working for money. That was the definition of retirement. So in 2013 I left and I came to Mumbai. I was working as a consultant. I was earning money, no doubt about that. That money was also sufficient. Sufficient means for me. In 2015, unfortunately, I need to go back. 2014, I need to go back to my hometown because my grandfather was bedridden. So I went there. I was thinking I will take a 6 months gap. I will stay with my grandfather for his last period, and then I will come back. One thing I would like to mention you that is very important. Whenever these things come into mind, when I talk with many people, they get scared of losing the track. For example, I am leaving the job and for next 6 months I am sitting at home doing nothing. So who will give me the job after 6 months? So at that time, what helped me, that okay, I am a PhD. The people who are just hardly pass the HSC, SSC or graduate, they are also doing well. Some people take rest for hospitalization for 6 months because of some accident. They again come. So why not me? So that was the factor which stopped me about scaring for this situation. So I went home. When I was sitting home, I was thinking what to do now, because I was unable to do anything from my hometown. So this was the project I decided to go after my retirement. Means whenever I will retire, I will have a buffalo farm. I will study a buffalo, how it works, and that's how I started to working for this buffalo system. Okay, this is the background. Okay, so let's start to our presentation. Next slide. So this is what I am going to tell you about this. So now you see this business unorganized. there is a huge difference between organized business and unorganized business. For example, if you are working for organized sector, you will get everybody attached to that system is organized. For example, if you are working for a chemical plant and if you are going to purchase a simple pump, 10 vendors will send their people to your office. They will elaborate you, sir, this is the things, we will give you so much discount, blah, blah, blah. And you can have that. In unorganized sector, for example, my sector, I need to carry out some work. Then I have to call 10 people, please come. Even I am ready to give you some incentives, but please come and do the job. This is the major difference in organized and unorganized. But there is one big benefit of this is in unorganized sector, there is nobody intelligent like you. This all unorganized sector is handled by Angutacha people. And they are earning much more than whatever we are earning. You may not agree with me, but if you go and do some things, you will see that these people are traveling in Mercedes, BMW, but they are Angutacha. Their income is from agriculture or buffalo kind of thing. So this is the difference. But they don't know the technique, the technology. They are doing it by traditional way. So in this sector, you can see the first part is innovation, where you can compete with those people because you have the mind which is trained to think little bit better or with different perspective. Second one is the objective. Third one is the available resources. Now I tell you, when I tell people that I am having 22 buffaloes, people ask me, how much land you have? I don't have any land. I have only 5,000 square foot of area. So that is almost 5 guntas. 1 acre is 40 guntas. So I have 5,000 square foot, means a block. And after that we don't have any another place. So whenever you will see that I would have done this, but I don't have the resources. There is always answer for every question. If you stay there, अरे माझ्याकडे नाही आहे शेती, मी कसं काय म्हशी पाळू, असं जर का झालं तर you will stop there. Third one is the motive. You need to have some motive to start any business. Hurdles, you have to tackle with all the hurdles. Then the scalability. When I was thinking to have buffaloes, I started with 10 buffaloes as my first target. But whenever I was thinking in terms of scalability, from day first, my target is 10,000 buffaloes. So every time, whenever I am developing any process, I question myself, can it be scalable to 10,000 buffaloes? Whatever the thing I am doing for 10 buffaloes, can it be scalable to 10,000? Either it may be model, or it may be a system, or whatever it may be, economics, all the parameters, I just calculate in terms of 10,000. Is it feasible? If the answer is no, then whatever the R&D we are doing is useless. Next one is the execution. It's very easy to tell other people to do the things. Okay, this is the problem. Okay, you do these things and your problem will be solved. You think that this is very easy, but if you start to solve that problem at actual execution, that is very difficult. I have put my 3 years just to understand how difficult the execution is. I am not able to see the slides. So this was the initial thoughts. First thing, why milk? Because I was knowing that the people are getting away from this business because their children don't want to work with buffaloes because people laugh, kuch to log kahenge kind of thing. Okay. Second, so the people who are producing milk, they are diminishing and the milk requirement is increasing. Second thing, the quality milk availability. Now if you are having shortage of milk, of course you will get milk adulterate. And you read and you may have seen many WhatsApp videos where how the milk is adulterated and all other things. Third thing is thoughts about marketing. In 2014, I was damn sure that I don't need any marketing, and still it is valid because I can sell entire milk. People come to my place to take the milk. I don't need to go anywhere to sell the milk. I do the business on my terms and conditions. So I generally in my area, how they work, the Gauli people, so the people who distribute milk, they come along with milk, they dispatch milk to you, and they collect money after 1 month. So it's a 1 month credit period. So we do opposite. Either you cash and carry, or you give me 1 month advance, and then I will give you milk for this thing. This concept I will explain you on the basis of EMI. So you pay EMI, you take a loan and you pay EMI. In this case, actually I am collecting entire thing and I am paying EMI in terms of milk. Third one is sustainability. So sustainability, I was damn sure that till the last person on this earth is alive, milk is required, either to drink milk or either at least for tea purpose. And scalability, I told you. So I have 10 buffaloes, 20 buffaloes, 100 buffaloes, 1000 buffaloes, 10,000 buffaloes. Is it scalable? Or okay. Now in my hometown, we are having 7,000 houses, number of houses 7,000. So just imagine, for every house, if you calculate 1 liter of milk, I need 7,000 liters of the milk. Okay. Let's say only 10% of the people are collecting milk from me. So that's 700 liters. Okay, just do a simple math. My profit margin is around 50% right now. So 700, and my selling price is 54 rupees. So if I am selling 700 liters milk, whenever I am saying you the profit margin, it includes everything: the labor, the raw material, the interest, and everything. So just have a simple math. If I am able to sell 700 liters with 25 rupees profit, so that will be my per day profit, and in bracket it's without income tax, it's a tax free. So it's a huge. Why I am telling you, you might thinking that 20 lakh per year is a good package, 40 lakh per year is a good package, but here you can have crores of rupees per year. Now after PhD in chemical engineering, why Buffalo? So nobody asks me whenever I am going for postdoc, why you are going for postdoc? But whenever I am going for this system, everybody is asking why. So the answer is, I am seeing these buffaloes as a chemical reactor. Okay, now this may be a little bit confusing. These are the live reactors. Why? This changes like. So here see, in chemical engineering you write down the material balance, right? So this buffalo is my process. So this is my reactor. So feed, fodder, water, this is my raw material. Milk is my product. Now let me tell you, right now we are working on milk as a product, but very soon this dung and urine will be our product and milk will be byproduct. So this is the game-changing theory for this system. Now for material balance, how it works? So feed is what? Feed is the concentrate. So the concentrate of proteins, carbohydrates and minerals. And fodder is what? Fodder is for their feeding. मराठीमध्ये ज्याला तुम्ही चारा म्हणता, that is fodder. आणि तुम्ही ज्याला सुग्रास किंवा भरडा म्हणता किंवा गोळी म्हणता, that is feed. So it contains protein, fat, carbohydrates, mineral. So in milk also you get proteins, fat, carbohydrates, mineral and water. Okay? And same, in dung and urine you get all other things with some byproducts. Okay? Now, you know how to write the material balance. Actually, I was having one more slide here. So now, you can do this homework, and this is very interesting homework to write down the material balance over the computer. Okay? How you will write down? First, material balance, total intake is equal to total output, right? Now, protein in intake is equal to protein in product plus protein in byproduct, right? The only difference is, now buffalo is a live thing, so it needs some energy to live. So how you will calculate this? Just like you, whenever you go for dietitian, those dietitian people tell you, okay, your body weight is 60 kg, you need to have 60 grams of protein per day. You need so much of carbohydrates, so total kilocalories per day, and then you do so much of exercise, so you will not get, fat and all other kind of things. The same thing, when you have the 500 kg weight buffalo, Generally, buffalo takes 12.5 kg of dry matter. Okay. So in that 12.5 kg, now it is divided into two parts: the feed and fodder. It is on dry basis, and generally 40 to 50 liter of water as per the climatic conditions. Now if you do the individual material balance, protein in feed plus protein in fodder is equal to proteins required by buffalo for remaining in healthy state for day-to-day work plus protein in milk. You are getting my point, right? It's not a difficult thing. The only thing, and we are only working with 3 to 4 parameters, that's all, not for the micro one. Next slide please. Now this entire information you can get from Google, and please do the material balance, this is very interesting. Fodder, you get two kinds of fodders, monocotyledonous and dicotyledonous. In that green fodder, for example, elephant grass, jawar grass, etc. And second is dry fodder, that is tur kutti, harbara kutti, kadwa kutti. So kutti means the leftover which is crushed. Okay. In feed, we use cotton DOC. DOC is de-oiled cake. Means whenever you take the cotton seed, take oil with solvent extraction, the residue you get, that is the cotton DOC. DORB is de-oiled rice bran. So rice bran you take oil for human consumption, and what is left over is DORB. DDGS is dried distillers grain, which solubles. This is the protein source. So for example, cotton DOC has 35% guaranteed protein. So you can do the gel analysis and you can find out the protein content. DORB contains 15% protein. DDGS contains 45% protein. So what I do, I have made one Excel sheet where I have put everything. Okay. Now when cost parameter comes, sometimes cotton DOC is expensive with respect to DDGS. Then what we do, cotton DOC has a 35% protein and DDGS is 45% protein. So based on the protein, I know how much grams of protein to be fed to the buffalo based on the milk output. For example, when the buffalo is in dry condition, not milking condition, so we have to feed them just to live for the buffaloes plus the baby in buffalo's home. Okay. Second, maize, we use maize as a carbohydrate and energy source. So as I explained, the material balance and energy balance, that has to be go hand in hand. For example, buffalo cannot eat more than 12.5 kg on dry basis because of that rumen volume. Okay. Now within that 12.5, you need to supply the energy which is equivalent to the energy required by buffalo to live plus the energy you are taking through the milk, because milk contains huge amount of energy. You know, you drink milk to get energy. The same thing. Third one is the bypass fat. Now what is bypass fat? Generally we don't feed buffaloes. Buffalo is means whatever we are feeding, that is not for buffaloes. What happens? Buffalo has 4 sections of the stomach. So first is rumen. So the rumen consists of millions of microbes. So we need to feed microbes. Microbes break down everything in the form where the absorption will take place in the intestine. Okay. Now these microbes don't like oil thing. Now you know that the milk quality is measured with respect to fat. If you read, if you are selling milk below 6 and it's a buffalo fat, FDA will not allow you. So what is that 6%, right? So for every 100 grams of milk, you need to have 6 grams of fat in that milk. So from where that fat will come? Fat will come from 2 sources. First, the fat, whatever we are giving. Second, the fat generated because of the carbohydrates and all other things. You must knowing that we are eating lots of carbohydrates, we also generate fats, right? So the same thing. So what is bypass fat? This fat is inert in the rumen and it is absorbed in intestine where the pH falls below 2.5. So what happens if you put oil? The microbes try to hydrogenate that oil. That is a bihydrogenation reaction and they get killed. So the microbes get killed and the unsaturated fat converted into saturated fat. Okay, we don't need that. Why? Because if microbes are, the microbe population is going down, your buffalo is sick. Third one is molasses for energy. Then the minerals. The major minerals we need is the calcium and phosphorus because that's what we are taking out from the milk. Then the vitamins, bypass protein, yeast, urea, common salt and water. So these are the part of the previous slides I have told you the raw material. Now whenever we are writing down the material balance, you have to consider the individual protein content, and then finally if you do some trial and error or you put it in a solver in XLS, it will give you multiple compositions. Now you have to add cost parameter to that. For example, the cost of cotton DOC is so much, DORP is so much, DDG, and then optimize for minimum cost to get 21% protein in final feed and 6% fat in final feed. Is that okay? So please do it yourself. That will be a really fun. Second slide. Now when I started this project, these were the objectives. First, to start family-owned business. So business means I'm not talking about self-employment, because 90% of the people think business is, the self-employment is a business. For example, I have a shop, I open at 9 o'clock, I come back at 8 o'clock and I say I'm doing business. No, you are sitting there, right? It's a self-employment. So, and why? Because suppose I am a consultant, my thought was that in 2014, I'm a consultant or I'm a faculty, I will retire someday, and I can't tell the system, okay, now I am retired, please take my child and continue. That doesn't work. So, my objective was I will build something for family that will produce money for my family as a pension plan, or if I am not there as a security, or even I am there, I don't want to work for that, but I need money for spending. Okay, so that was the second thought. Second point is to glorify the buffalo farm business and attract youth. Because in my hometown, people used to say, तुम्ही अमेरिकेत जाऊन आलाय आणि हे शेणात का परत हातरून बसलाय, ह्याच्यासाठी तुम्हाला अमेरिकेत जायची काय गरज नाही. So this is so low level thing they are thinking. But when I started this along with my wife, then they used to give the example. ते एवढा शाळा शिकून आलाय, तो सगळं काम करतो, तुला काम करणार आहे. Because the situation is, means the father is having age of 45, 50, in that range. He is doing that business from his childhood. Means when he was child, like 10, 12 years, he used to go with his father to bring the milk, to go to dairy to distribute this thing. Right now, people, the children, they are smart with smartphones, and they say, I will not go to dairy, people laugh at me. Or I will not take the idli in my hand. So this is the real situation in rural area. So the people who are living in urban area, this is also threat. Why? Because if they are not producing milk, you will not get milk. You will get milk, but that will not come from buffalo. And third one, so when I started this, I decided, okay, I will go with this. So I started visiting tabelas. So that person is having 100 buffaloes. That person is having 150 buffaloes. Oh, great, 100 buffaloes. So when we were making on paper calculations, so I told my mother, whenever we will have 100 buffaloes, we will have Mercedes. So I was thinking 100 buffaloes means almost 1 crore rupees project. So within 2 years, I will have that earning of 2 crores. So I can easily get, Mercedes. So that was our one milestone kind of thing. So people already having 100 buffaloes, 300 buffaloes, but they were not traveling in Mercedes. So I went there and I asked them, how much is production cost of your milk? How much you spend to make 1 liter of milk? He said, I don't know. Selling cost everybody knows. I sell 45 rupees, I sell 48, I sell 40. Some people sell like 35 rupees. You are getting my point. They know the selling price, but they don't know the production cost. Now, whenever you are having a plant, what do you calculate first? Production cost. पहले बताओ खर्चा कितना आने वाला है, बेचने का बाद में देखेंगे. Right? Next slide. Now, little bit glitch. I will tell you the process how it works. First, they are following. Means your buffalo has given a baby today. So from that day, first 8 days you get little bit high protein milk. You can't use it for general purpose. After that, after 21 days you get the highest milk. Suppose the capacity is 10 liters, you will get 10 liters of the milk from 21 days. Or 15 liters, it will give 15 liters per day. Then what happens? After that, in 4th month, we try to consume the buffalo again. Okay, so We can't guarantee that, okay, in this month it will conceive, or next month it will conceive, or next month it will conceive. Now in rural area, this conception is the biggest problem. You know why? Because they don't know the energy balance. Means they are taking milk from the buffalo, but that energy is not meeting to conceive. Means buffalo is thinking, no, I can't. Why? Because whatever I am eating and I am giving milk, that is only sufficient to sustain me. I can't have a baby in my home. So if you are having, now what we claim, okay, your buffalo is not conceiving, put your buffalo in our tapela. Within 2 months, we will give you buffalo with baby after conceive. Why? Because, you know, whatever, as a fat source, what we eat, to khatuna ghee, that is a concentrate form of, so bypass fat is nothing but ghee for buffalo. It is little bit expensive, but I will tell you how expenses is taken care of. So for example, in 4th month, it get conceived. After 6 months, it started reducing the milk output because baby is growing in the womb. At that time, even if you are supplying more energy, that doesn't work. And after 10th month of conception, you get that first day of calving. 10 months, 10 days, it delivers a baby and starts. Now the important part is, here you are getting a huge milk. Last 4 months, you don't get any milk. Okay? Now your fodder required for entire year is same. Means suppose 12.5 kg per day. Okay? Means feed plus fodder. Now if the buffalo is not milking, then you don't need to give the feed to it. Means the extra protein, extra carbohydrates, you don't need. So how much it is needed? Hardly 1 kg. Or half kg is sufficient, the whatever we are making on that. Now there are two things. The entire cycle, actually I was not knowing the entire cycle. So that's why we started this study. So whenever I used to go to somebody, how much is the production cost? Can't say, because ये 4 महीने दूध देतेच नाही. पहिल्या 4 महिन्यात एवढं दूध देते, पुढच्या 2 महिन्यात एवढं येते, त्यानंतर ते गाभ राहिली की एवढं येते, त्याच्यानंतर काय सांगता येत नाही. एका पूर्ण वेतामध्ये किती दूध येते कधी मोजलेलं नाही. These are the answers, because those people, this sector is unorganized and those people don't know the importance of that. But why they are doing it? I tell you the fact. People think that in rural area the economy is running because of sugar factories. But this is the half truth. The money earned from sugar factory, the farmers spend that money to buy Scorpio or to have a building. They don't use that money for day-to-day activity. But if they are having 2 or 3 buffaloes in the farm, they milk it and they put it to the dairy, and dairy gives every 10 days, the dairy gives money to the farmer. Now in my area, you must have heard Gokul, that is my cooperative dairy area available. They are collecting 10 lakh liters of 10 lakh liter day, 10 lakh liters per day milk. Now just multiply with 40 into 10 lakh. So that is the average distribution of money in the rural area in the form of for every 10 days. So their economy is running on that. So they don't know how to evaluate it. So what we started for measuring milk from first day till the last day, and then we weighed how much buffalo is eating, the feed quantity. So for after 2.5 years, I arrived at a point, okay, average, this is the cost for production of a milk. If the buffalo conceive in 4th month, if buffalo conceive in 6th month, if buffalo conceive in 8th month. So again, next cycle, we optimize those parameters. And we arrived at the point, okay, minimum cost of production is somewhere 18 to 20 rupees, and maximum it went to 25 to 26 rupees per liter. Okay, now this is star. It is in my area, and the deals how I do. Next please. Okay, now we will come to the, now you understood this is the basic concept. This the difference between the conventional thing and the things which we are doing. We saw the customer need. What is the customer need? The customer need is very simple. You put milk on a gas, and if you get thick side over it, the lady is happy. Or after a week, they are getting so much of butter from that, side, the heat process. They are very happy. Good sunlight. The second thing is that taste. Okay, if you drink a nice milk, it tastes sweet. that kind of thing. Now we arrived on the second thing, experimentation for process validity. When I started this business, or I was thinking to start this business, not a single person said, okay, do it. No, don't go for it. It's very bad. You will get nothing. You will lose everything. Because the attitude to see this is like this business is a scrap business. You will lose whatever you are having. Why we are getting money? Because we are having grass on. If you go to rural area, they are having some space between two neighbors. So they have the grass. So they share that grass. They bring it. They put it for buffalo and they get a milk. If you don't have the land, don't go for it. Even forget about having a buffalo without land. That kind of attitude. So that experimentation was very necessary because everybody is talking negative, then you need to really validate for that. Okay. So we started experimentation and we are still in experimentation phase. And then the commercialization part. As per our calculation, after 3 to 4 years, I will be able to talk on this commercial aspect. Okay, next please. Now, first part I told you, innovation. Because now we are a chemical engineer, PhD in chemical engineer, so we have that responsibility, we have to think differently. So what we thought differently, first is the raw material management. I understood from everybody's feedback that if I don't have fodder in my place, then I will be in mess. Because जर का machine ना खायलाच नसेल, I can't go ahead with that. So there are two sections, fodder and feed. The second section, feed. Now the thing is that generally you must have read so many WhatsApp messages that the farmer, best industries, they make a lot of money. For example, pharmaceuticals means for our purpose, veterinary. Second thing, the fertilizer, the plastic things, the pipes line, irrigation and all other things. They are making a lot of money. They are having good business. But farmer is very poor. Why? Because this feed factor. The feed we are making, I know what I am adding, I know the protein content and all other things. But the people, whatever purchasing from the market, they don't know what they are purchasing because they are not taught to check. For example, whenever we are bringing milk and see, okay, this is a good fat, but feed you can't test, you don't have the laboratories. Just you bring it and you put it in front of buffaloes. So we started making our own feed from day zero. Fodder, how I managed? I saw that the fodder prices are going in ups and downs. And second thing, the raw material of feed. For example, if you go today to bring the raw material, that is around 30 rupees per kg. But after 15th of November, that will be around, you won't believe, 18 rupees. So in terms of percentage, that's a huge, right? So the maximum cost goes from 18 to 36 because this all raw material are traded at NCDX. जो सट्टा बाजार आहे त्या सट्टा बाजार मध्ये सगळं ट्रेड होतं कुठलं सर्किट DOC that is a tradable item. Then whatever I am talking, all these are commodities and those are traded on NCDX, the commodity market. So their prices are fluctuating like gold and silver. But what happens whenever the new crop comes into the market, as per the storage availability, some material you get at very cheap rate in that thing. So what we decided, I decided to purchase the required things in the same month for entire year. I told you the EMI concept, right? So what you do, you go to the bank, you take 1 lakh rupees of loan, and bank tells you, okay, this is your EMI, you pay so much money per month. I did the opposite. I brought everything, I spent money on the one day, and now I am getting EMI every day. Just go and do a calculation in your XLS. You will see the difference. When I say cash and carry, just do one thing, you are getting monthly bill at the last day of the month, and against you are getting either daily or on the first day. Just see how much percentage of difference you get. Then product quality. So that was our selling point. So our motto is, if your milk gets spoiled, we will replace the entire milk. So in this 3 or 4 years, we have not replaced any milk. The SNF, the fat and the sugar content, we are, you can say, tailor-made. Why? Because in feed, we are deciding how much it will come into the milk. Selling process. The first day I decided we will not go with credit system. No udari. Means you give milk for 1 month and then I will pay when I will get salary. No. So we sell 3 things: this milk, dung, and buffaloes. So this cash and carry or advance payment. That's all. Even we don't sell dung on credit system. So this is a conventional thing. Whenever we are having green fodder, we use this. So this is sugarcane top. So this is a 3-month period we get sugarcane top. Now the drawback with this sugarcane top is this is available for 3 months. Second thing, it has a very low protein content. So whenever I am using this, I have to increase protein content in my feed, because the summation of protein in feed and fodder should be the required protein. Second, we can't use this. We have to crush it. Do the smaller particle size, so you will get better consumability. Next please. I replaced that thing with this one. So this is my entire requirement of the yearly requirement for 22 buffaloes. I need around 120 tons of raw material, because each buffalo eat 8 kg of dry matter. But if you have to give the green, you have to feed 40 kgs. Now for manpower management, this is very easy, because I have to give 4 kg. 4 kg material is very small amount, You have to put 4 kg in front of one buffalo and you are good for half day. And in the evening, again 4 kg, you are good. But if you have to give that green fodder, you have to weigh 20 kg in the morning and 20 kg in the evening. Now whenever I am going to buy this, I place a huge bulk order. 120 tons is a good order for me. So he gives me the discount. Second thing, many people purchase this on a kind of loan basis. So we will pay 50% money right now, then we will pay in Diwali, and rest of the money will be paid when next load will arrive. So they get this material at around 6 rupees per kg. I get this material at 4 rupees 50 paisa to 5 rupees. Why? Because I put money on the table. So this is your loan money, now tell me the rate. So because he is giving so much of credit, he has to run his whole system. See, this is very small thing, but this is not taught to us. This is a common sense. The Amutacha people knows all these things. You show money, he will come down at least 10 paisa, 15 paisa, 20 paisa. For me, this is 1.5 rupees over 6 rupees. So I am saving 25%. Okay. Now just calculate, it's a 120 tons into 6 rupees, and I am saving 25% over that. That's a huge saving. So this is how we store it. Next step please. Now this is the actual raw material I received, and people use it like this. But we are getting almost 25% wastage in this. So what we do, we crush it into the small things. Now our wastage is almost zero. We don't waste anything. The second thing is, you see the straws. Actually this is a non-digestible thing. If you put like this, you get the particles in the dung. So in one research paper, one more thing. There is a abundant research available on this area. It's people just like we are doing PhDs in chemical engineering. People are doing PhDs and all other things. But those people are not having buffaloes who are doing the PhD. Second thing, these papers are available on Science Direct, but farmer doesn't know how to go Second thing, even farmer doesn't know the terminology what they are using. So in one paper I got one reference that I use yeast, then this can be broken down. Now we are using yeast. We get yeast around 1000 rupees per kg. Now for farmer 1000 rupees per kg, this is very expensive. Now for me, I need to use only 1 gram per time. So that is 1 rupees. You are getting my point. But for that 1 rupees, my entire raw material is getting converted. That is, converted means what? It is digested. We don't see any particles in the dung. Next please. This is the innovation part. This is the different thing whatever we are doing from. This is the feed preparation. So what we do, we have a different, you have to find out the weights of everything, how much DOC, how much DORB. So we pick some formulas, and based on those formulas, we make this formulation, and this is our final feed. 1 minute. What happened, whenever we started this thing with us, so some people came to us, okay, will you sell this to us? I said, okay, we will sell. So for trial basis, we used to sell something at some cost. So after that they were also getting results, because initially they were using from outside. So those orders went on. And one day we were making in tons. Means along with this business, that was the additional business. But what happened, I will tell you later. Next place. But this is how the business goes. You never know. We never thought that we will sell this. Now just imagine if you are selling 1 ton per day, and if I am having only 1 rupees profit, I was having 3 rupees profit over that. How much is 3,000 rupees per day extra profit? So that is 1 lakh rupees per month. So that is a 12 lakh. That's what the people are asking for. Okay, I will be happy. This is the side. Don't take it wrong way. I am just showing you the inside how you have to make money, right? If you open the chemical engineering book, on first page they have the $1. It goes into process and there is $2. That's what I say whenever I am doing my undergrad. So water availability. Now the thing is that initially we used to put water for some specific period. So whenever you are using green powder, water availability is okay, means you are giving once or twice in a day, that was fine, because that green powder contains 80% of water. Now when we were working with dry powder, the water availability was very crucial. Means समजा आता आपण वाळच खातोय आणि आता आपल्याला पाणी प्यायचं आहे. So that process was not available. So we made this. So I was thinking to make something which will be, means while eating they will have, जसं आपण जेवताना पाण्याचा ग्लास पाणी पितो, they will have the water availability in the vicinity. So I went so many places. They told me that buffaloes don't put anything at place. You make it, they will break it. Because they have that habit. So what we do, we made some casting with very heavy thing, which cannot be, and this is MS casting. So it was having a very good weldability and all other things. And then what we do, we are having a float wall, so that level is always maintained. So this water level is also always maintained. So every buffalo is now getting access to water 24 hours. You won't believe our milk production went by 15% when this came into picture. Previously we were used to give only morning and evening water, but now it is a 24 hours. Their feed intake also increases, and when the feed intake increases, your milk output also increases. This is also part of innovation. Now the real part. The initial concepts and belief and actual reality and truths. And why I am telling this is very important, because believe me, it's not so easy. I told you, execution is very difficult. Whenever you are saying, okay, I will do this, theoretical part is very, for example, excellent theoretical background. I was thinking, I am having very good theoretical background. I can understand theory very well. If I read a paper, I can understand as good as whatever, as good as the person who wrote that paper. But actual reality is, I can't convince that thing to other people. The worker, I need somebody, right? I can't do everything at my own. Second, manpower management is not a big issue. In that time also I was thinking, manpower management, how much they are paying? 300 per day, I will pay 400 per day. That doesn't work, and that didn't work, and that was the biggest failure in this project. I was working myself with these 22 buffaloes. First initial period 10 buffaloes, after that 22 buffaloes, along with my wife for 3 years, and I was not having this. We are not getting workers for this thing because of my attitude, you can say. And actually this is not a, people generally say खूप छान केला तुम्ही स्वतः केला ते, but I see this is a failure because I was not able to manage people. So sometimes people run away. म्हणजे संध्याकाळी सगळं आवरलं बॅड, म्हणजे सकाळी पगार झाला असेल संध्याकाळी तिथं कोण नाहीच आहे. The most difficult part is manpower management. Whenever I used to call somebody from my rural area, I don't live in urban area, I live in rural area. मला शेण काढायला माणूस पाहिजे. I will pay 500 rupees per day. दुसरं कुठलंही काम सांगा, मला 250 रुपये द्या, पण ते काम सांगा. This is the bottleneck, and this was the. Now you see, this is very simple problem, right? So many people shared their knowledge. Why don't you make an automatic system? How can I make an automatic system? I don't know how. I didn't see that. Even in some places they mix dung with water and they carry it over. But somebody needs to work. You can't teach the potty training for buffaloes, okay? This is the area you have to do. So you need to have a worker who can understand that this is a work. Okay? So this is my biggest failure. I was not having person to work with. So 3 years I did that thing along with my wife. So that was like, I'm not proud of that thing. I see this as a failure. So if you are thinking to start some business, make sure you can do anything in that thing. If you need to, wipe out the floor, whatever it may be. I used to say, okay, I am working at my place. आमच्या गावात कसं होतं, तुमच्या गोट्यात शेण काढायला काय आम्ही येत लोक नाव देतात. आमच्या गोट्यात आम्ही शेण काढतो, तुमच्या गोट्यात आम्ही येत नाही. कुछ तो लोग कहेंगे. That is very important. Even in rural area, urban area you cannot think about that. Last one. I have read and understood how to build good team. So to start a business, what I did, I read the books. Okay, this is the concept, this is the thing. But the moral of the story is, unless and until you have a good team, you can't understand how to build a good team. So I started in January 2015, and June 2018 was, 1st June 2018 was my success day. Why? Because from 1st of June, I have never visited my plant. So that's my success. So that's why I am here. Otherwise, I was not able to go outside my town, because I used to wake up in the 4 in the morning, 4 to 9 milking, 9 to 12 rest of the things, 12 to 2 sleeping, 2 to 9 the evening section, and 9-10 बजे सो जाने का, सुबह 4 बजे उठने का. How many days? 3 years. Why? Because I failed to make a good team. So you need to change your attitude. My attitude was, I am paying, he has to work. पैसे तो दे, काम करना पाहिजे ना. That doesn't work. So this is the costliest lesson I learned. Why I am telling you this thing is very important? Because 90% of the businesses die within 1 year. Because the person who start business, they get bored, they get frustrated. अरे तेच किती वेळा तो. Unless and until you get success, if you are not able to do it, don't go for it. Because I tell you, I used to, even in my family they used to ask me, how many days you are going to do this? To whom and to what you want to prove? I used to answer that I have to make this success. Even next 10 years, 15 years, I don't know, but someday, somewhere, I will learn all these things and it will be a success. So whenever you are thinking to start something out of the box, please keep in mind, it's very difficult to execute the things than you understand, you read or you consult or somebody tells you. Now for me it's very easy, no? Now whatever I am telling to you, it's very easy. This is so much of money and blah blah. But actually execution is very difficult part. Next please. What can go wrong? I am just giving one simple example. In March we decided to go for expansion. So we were having 10 buffaloes. Now I wanted to apply the same logic, same concept for 22 buffaloes. So we purchased 11 buffaloes new. So for that purpose I need to store more material. So I decided to go for expansion of shed. This is my entire plan. So I started purchase this material. Why? Because this is only available when the plants are cutting, January and mid of February. That's all. Okay. So we started, and I was telling people, please come and have that shade so that if there is rain, it won't get wet. Because this can be in dry condition, it can live for 1 year, but as soon as it gets wet, you have to throw it away. So this was the condition, and 1 week I was not able to sleep, because right now you are seeing this clear sky, but in the evening, there was cloudy, and I was like, oh, it's not about money. Okay, that was costing around 2 lakh rupees because that was a half section field. Okay, I can earn 2 lakh somewhere, but where I will throw that? And who will throw that? Because I am busy with my buffaloes. Suppose if it get wet, if it is a dry condition, it is a 60 tons. When it will become wet, it will get more wet. And within one day, it start exotherm. हे समजा पोतं भिजलं तर दुसऱ्या दिवशी त्यांना वाफायला चालू होतं. The temperature at 75 degrees centigrade. Decomposition चालू जातं उसका. Next. So this period, this is the wrong. Fortunately, when they put the sheets on this, the next day there was rain. So that was like, why? Because it is an organized sector. People are saying, yes sir, we will do tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow morning I will be there. Tomorrow morning phone not reachable. Just imagine, can a PhD guy do like this? He's promised something, I will do it tomorrow. And tomorrow morning 9 o'clock, CEO is calling to that PhD fellow. Can PhD fellow switch it off? No. He will take the entire night to complete that thing. But in unorganized sector, switch off the mobile. Because those things are in scarcity, you don't get people to do. So okay, Dada Baba, chalo karo. Next. So I explained all these things, failures, reasons, instances where these projects could have posed. So many instances came across, starting from the labor problem. My neighbor, I tell you what I learned. You can't get the knowledge you get from your neighbor in entire universal. You go anywhere at any university, you don't get that knowledge. The knowledge given by your neighbor. My neighbor filed a police case against me, a criminal case, that I am threat to his life. And the reason was, suppose if there is a flood like Kerala, the entire dung will come in my house. You won't believe, but this is the actual fact. In Kagal police station, they are having that all paperwork done, and now I am waiting for when they will call me to, get back. The same thing. Kerala flood, nobody knows which material is going where, right? They are having so much of water level, and so even I told them I can't do anything. My buffaloes will, I don't know where my buffaloes will go along with that water. Right? So such thing happens. We were having an electrical connection, and my neighbor told MSCB, it is going from my area and it is not allowed. So tell them to take it down. And MSCB, whenever you are applying for connection, they are having one undertaking that if your neighbor complains, we will disconnect your electricity. It's there. So what they do? So what I have to do? I have to take connection from next place. So these are simple problems. But those solutions they don't teach any university. They never teach. Underestimations. So for me, underestimation was, one guy told me, "Tula दूध काटता येतं का? Can you milk?" I said, "No, I never touched buffalo before I brought 10 buffaloes. I was having one paper. I will have so many bhaiyas. I will pay so much of money. I will have one person for this. I will have one person for that. I will just go there and weigh the milk. I will check the fat and I will have a database." That was initial thing. So that was the underestimation and overconfidence. Okay, एक आदमी केला तो दोन आदमी आणतो. Next one. So these are the problems. So one more story I will tell you, means how the laterals open in the business. Even I was not thinking about this. So some guy told me that, okay, why don't you go for this vermi wash? You are having so much of dung. I am having so much of dung because I am having lots of buffaloes, and we sell dung to the farmers. So we made this kind of thing. Now in vermi wash, what happens? Generally they put the vertical barrel, and they are having the sand and stones filled at the bottom. They are having the dung and they pour the water over that, and then they get the vermi wash. So what we did opposite. We cut the horizontal, and this is actually filtration. So what happens whenever you are having the opening, those worms come out of this thing. So now what happens? This is a filter media. So this is the sand, this is the filter media, then we are having the stones, bricks. Next please. These are all very small reactors because these are also making some reactions and these are giving some products. So this is how we collect it. Okay, and this is having some plant growth hormones in the vermi wash. So we tested those. Next slide please. So we were not using water to make the vermi wash. What I used to do, I made one screw conveyor. Screw press. So you put dung here and you pack it here and you will get the liquid out from the dung. So we used to put that liquid from the dung into that thing and that was converted into vermi wash. Next please. So this was the experimentation. These are the brinjal plants. Do you see any difference? These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are planted on the same day. But if you see that as the area on the leaves are these are their factories, food factories. So that just to see the effect. So then we gave it to the farmers because I don't have the agricultural land. So then that was another story. So now we can make that thing, and you won't believe. Even if I collect this money, that is sufficient as an output from my entire project. So I told you milk will be byproduct. So this is one thing. Second thing is the dung, and now we are going to make the fertilizer from that dung. Next please. This is our laboratory. So this is a 5,000 square foot area. This is our entire year's fodder. We directly put dung into the trailer and we store somewhere. We have rented a place. Next one. These are our reactors. This is the milking machine. These are the cows. Next one. Now we are for washing the buffaloes. We use the servicing kind of thing, servicing machine. So we don't go and wash. Next one. So these are the babies. Now the important thing is that in chemical engineering sector, the reactors we get depreciation, right? So this reactor will be depreciated after 10 years. Here we get appreciation. Every reactor is So if you see those babies, the last picture, so that is a series of reactors. So whenever you are selling buffalo, at least you get 2 buffaloes replaced. So that's how this is a scalable business, sustainable business. And the important thing is that in the Marwadi people talk about how the money is rotating. So they say, ₹1 1 साल में 3 बार rotate हो गया, so that is a good business. Now just calculate how many times my rupees is getting this thing. Because every day I am collecting money. One day I am putting money, and every day first 6 months is just to get my expenses covered. And after that I started getting profit. So I have told you the profitability also. So this is all. This is what I want to convey. So if you have any idea in your mind, go for it. Because if you have real passion for that, then you will be successful. Only consider, don't. I used to tell my wife in Marathi there is one वाक्प्रचार जो दुसऱ्यावरी विसंबला त्याचा कार्यभाग बुडाला. So that is applicable everywhere. Wherever you are going to do anything, think over the execution part. Don't depend on anybody that he will help me or he will come to help me. And I tell you, for a business you need mindset, the thoughts. You don't need money. There are so much of people who are offering me so much of money that okay, come to us, we'll do like this. I will just tell you the offer. Just I think 3 to 4 months before somebody offered me, I will pay you 60 lakh package. You come, we'll have the buffalo farm. You are getting the thing. So the thing, the potential you need to see by engineering aspect. As a layman aspect, म्हणजे आमच्याकडे म्हणतात फक्त शेण येतं हातात बाकी काही येत नाही. But I am telling that will be my main product. You are getting, because why? Milking is a duration. After calving you get 8 months milk, but dung you are getting every day. Urine you are getting every day. Even it is a old, young, that doesn't matter. Okay, thanks a lot, and I would like to really thanks for the organizer, because the same thing I will repeat. This is not a glorified business, but chemical engineering is a faculty which can be applied anywhere. Means I used to say in my house, chemistry, kitchen is nothing but a chemistry. Whatever you are cooking, everything is chemistry. You see, it's a chemical reactions, your transformations, the taste, the material. If your mother messes with the material balance, you understand, okay, something is not good. So it's chemistry. Wherever you will see in our body, whatever around agriculture, suppose if you have a huge agriculture land, you start seeing as a chemical engineer. That is also material balance, right? Agriculture, trees are material balance. This is chemical engineering. Why? You know nitrogen, phosphorus, potash, then the material balance over the sugar cane. So much of hydrocarbon I need to store. So much of carbon dioxide will be taken from this thing. So much of water will be required. If you do the good material balance, then now 3-4 years before, people used to take 40 tons per acre. Now they have gone to 100 tons. Now people are claiming 200 tons. Just imagine, as a chemical engineering point of view, 40 tons of sugar cane and 100 tons of sugar cane in the same area. How much CO2 you are fixing? Now I will tell you the complete cycle. What I am doing, I am taking the plant residue, which is being burnt in the farmer burnt it because they don't know what to do with that, and they think that is a fertilizer, that ash is a fertilizer. How much is ash? Ash content is 3 to 4%, maximum 5%, and what it is left is minerals, right? All organic matter is burnt. What I am doing, I am taking that material, I am extracting that energy through milk, I am giving back to the again soil, because all dung is now taken back to the soil. You are getting my point? Yes. So this is a cycle. I am following very good nitrogen cycle, because protein is a part of nitrogen is a part of protein. So nitrogen coming to my place and nitrogen going from my place. Now second thing, if you go to any husbandry farm, you get a typical ammonia smell. You don't get that smell in my farm. Why? Because we have control the protein intake to the buffalo, so we don't have any excess protein which can be converted to urea or uric acid, and liberation of ammonia. So there are so many minor things where you can work, and so I think if you get this insight, forget about this buffaloes and all other things. This is a small part. Apply the same thought process everywhere and you will be successful. Okay. So the commercial part is, my plan is to go for 100 buffaloes this year. After that we will go to 300 buffaloes. Just to check, because this is a laboratory experiment. The next part will be the pilot plant. And after pilot plant, we are thinking to go for 10,000 buffaloes. And I am thinking to bring the IPO for buying buffaloes. So that will be our endpoint.
सर तुम्ही जे फॉर्डर ते म्हटलात शर्मा वगैरे टाकायचं तर समजा तुम्ही आता विचार केला दुष्काळ पडला बीड असेल की या दुष्काळात त्यांना खाणं कसं पुरवणार
I didn't understand. काय म्हटलं तू समजलं नाही.
वर्षभर त्यांना खायला टाकायचं ना मशीनला त्यांना, मग आता दुष्काळ जर पडलाय खाणं कुठून तुम्ही ऍडजस्ट करणार ते फॉर्डर ते.
Okay. Now the important thing is that you might thinking this all fodder, this is my local fodder. No, it is coming 250 kilometers away. It is coming from Vijapur. So whenever I am saying 4 rupees 50 paisa or 5 rupees, 3 rupees is the transportation cost. Actual cost is 1 rupees 50 paisa. So I was thinking to start the buffalo farm in Vijapur to save this 3 rupees. But I can't control from there. That's why. So the answer to your question is, in Bid if you don't have, in Vijapur they have abundant. I tell you, I calculated how much area I need to collect this much fodder based on the data. So I need to have 25 hectares land for 22 buffaloes, not acre, hectares. So people are, see, farmer is happy with 1.5 rupees per kg of this leftover, and I am paying 3 rupees for transportation. Even a farmer gets less than 1 rupees because he has to pay commission for the person who collects and all other things. So this is, when I say sustainable, I don't have land. You are talking about Dushkal. I tell you about two things. Even if you tell me to run this project in bid, this is quite feasible for me. Why? Because cost of one, I will just tell you. My cost of having one buffalo is less than whatever you are spending yourself per day. I will explain you. If my buffalo is not milking, I have to pay 4.5 rupees per kg, and I have to pay 8 kgs. So that is around 40 rupees per day. Okay? And 20 rupees feed. So how much? 60 rupees. My buffalo gives me 30 to 40 rupees done back to me. It will not milk. Okay? And now if you see our water system, we don't waste any water. We use water with the servicing machine. So we need 100 liters of water to clean the tabela, and for every buffalo based on the climatic condition. So there was one time that we were not having water at our place. So I used to purchase tankers, and that was also economical for me. So just find out where the things are cheap. Somebody will think 1 rupees 50 paisa is cost, and why should I spend 3 rupees for transportation? No, I will think reverse way. Is it feasible to bring this at 4.5 rupees? मराठी माणसाचा एक प्रॉब्लेम काय माहिती काय, आपला फायदा बघत नाही आपण. तू 3 रुपये घेणार, काय गरज आहे? दॅट्स इट. बीड मध्ये काढ, कुठेही काढ. आता मुंबईत, सी इन मुंबई यू विल हॅव thousands of buffaloes. They run on same story. They work with dry powder, but their dry powder cost is 10 rupees per kg, double than that, double than me. So what I think, suppose if I have to sell milk in Mumbai, order weight to milk is less bulky, right? This volumetrically also, by weight also. One buffalo is around that 40 kg of fodder, and I have to get 10 liters of milk. So transportation of milk from Kolhapur to Mumbai is cheaper than transportation of fodder to Mumbai, because you don't get a place in Mumbai also. Per square feet you have to pay something. So you can have this project anywhere, because whenever we will go for 1000 buffaloes, I am not going to stay in any local area. I will find a land where land is like 50,000 rupees acre. No electricity is not required. I can have so much of solar panels, or I will make a biogas, huge biogas out of that, and I will have my own power generation. One important thing I forgot to tell you, I am not looking this as a food industry. I am looking this as an industry, energy industry. Just like Reliance, they are having the biggest grassroots. I am seeing this as the biggest biofuel unit, because when I will have 1000 buffaloes, I will have so much of done that with this biogas, because after biogas I will have the slurry for fertilizer. So the thing is that if you are burning something, burning biomass, again compare that biomass is fed to the buffalo, I am getting milk, I am getting dung, again I am getting biogas, and again I am giving it back to the as a fertilizer to the soil. So this entire cycle I am trying to extract much of the energy. So in bid also you can purchase from Vijapur, and you can take a truckload there. So this is the example of constraint. Means when I used to think about that I will have the buffaloes, they were having constraint. City kuda hai tujhakade? You don't have land and you are thinking to have a buffalo, but still we have 22 buffaloes without any land.
Hello sir. Sir, I had a doubt. Like, why just buffalo reactors? Why can't be a cow reactor? Because if we consider the cow's milk, the ghee which is obtained, also the cow dung and the gomudra, all are commercially and also nutritionally much more valued than the buffaloes. So like, why just buffalo?
Two things. Many people ask me one very important question. What is your opinion about A1 milk and A2 milk? I don't have any opinion about that, because I don't know what is A1, what is A2. In Europe and US they have that whatever the jersey and all other things. In Michigan State University, they are having 3,000 buffaloes. 3,000 cows. So the price you are talking about is the desi cow and desi milk and desi ghee. Because this Jersey milk, if you are reading the paper, this last month or previous month, they were having a strike of the milk. They stopped sending milk here. They poured all the milk because they are not getting price for that milk. Now, how the cow milk and buffalo milk is differentiated, I can answer. The fat content of cow milk is very less. The casein quality in cow milk is buffalo milk is better than cow milk. So if you go and ask the cow milk price, now in Mumbai actually Amul sells all this is the cow milk. Okay, and Gokul they have the buffalo milk and cow milk. Why I started with buffalo? Because that is a scarcity. One more answer I will give you. Actually, we don't want to sell milk. We want to go for mozzarella cheese, and that is made by definition. It is made by buffalo, and I want to export all to the Italy. So that was our another. These are the laterals when they will start opening. So those value additions. And in my area, for every 5 cows, you will have 1 buffalo. So that is a scarcity. In my area, people go to drink buffalo milk. Nobody buys cow milk. If I was having so much of cows, I have to put that milk to the Gokul or Varna at 20 rupees per liter. And that is not feasible. That's why these people are getting losses. Second thing, if you are not able to sell the things, don't make it. I can't sell cow milk in my area. I can sell buffalo milk. Even 700 liter, 1000 liter, I can sell.
Thank you.
I want. Would you like to comment on adulteration in milk, like melanin and other substances?
See, the thing is that I will take this as another way. When adulteration is come into picture, suppose if there is a requirement and fulfillment, they are on the same level, you don't need to adulterate, right? Suppose if the entire requirement is 1 lakh liter of milk per day and you are having 1 lakh liter, who will adulterate? Now this gap is increasing. So the milk availability and milk, the production capacity. And that's why I told you in very first slide that that's why this project will sustain. Even if you come to my next door and if you are having 100 buffaloes, then also we will survive. There is no competition. But I can't comment on adulteration because this is a thought process, right? The adulteration is a thought process. They will adulterate in milk, they will adulterate in ghee, they will adulterate in chapati, gahu, tandoor, oil, whatever it may be, because that's another black side of the mankind.
गव्हर्नमेंट पॉलिसीचा किती परिणाम झाला?
एक्झॅक्टली.
नोटाबंदी ज्यावेळी झाली त्यावेळी मी पण ग्राउंड लेवलला थोडा सर्वे केला. सगळ्यात जास्त सफर केला तो ग्रामीण भागातील लोकांनी केला. आणि जे शेतकरी दूध घालत होते त्यांच्याकडे पेटीएम नाही आहे की त्यांच्याकडे तेज नाही आहे किंवा गुगल पे नाही आहे.
यू वोंट बिलीव्ह, जेव्हा नोटाबंदी
सगळ्यात जास्त त्रास झाला त्यावेळी तुम्हाला किती त्रास झाला?
जेव्हा नोटाबंदी झाली त्यानंतर 2 महिने माझा मित्र त्याचा पगार माझ्याकडून पैसे घेऊन करत होता. Why? Because cash and carry. If you don't have money, I will not give you the milk. So people used to pay me in cash, and I was the person having huge cash because I was just imagine नोटाबंदी झाली त्यावेळी आमचं जवळजवळ 160-170 लिटर दूध होतं. 160 into 50, how much? 8,000 per day. I don't go bank to take money. Generally, we go bank to deposit money because I am getting cash. Everything is cash. Nobody gives me check. So some people give me the check, but that's a very 1% or 2%. In Notabandi also, some people try to give us check for entire month, but for them that was also difficult. So I was the having person, and see, I don't do any 2 number. Otherwise, you will think that okay.
Actually, what's your problem?
Pardon, sir?
You are tax free. What is your problem?
Yeah, and I'm tax free. I don't have to pay the taxes because government policy. That's all. Government gives a lot of benefit, but I have not taken a single rupee benefit from government. You know why? Because that was my thought process in 2014-15. If I take government subsidy, then people will think, he took government subsidy, that's why he's become successful. Just for that sentence, I never applied for any subsidy, because if you go for buffalo, then you get 20,000 rupees per buffalo subsidy. Then if you go for milking machine, you get subsidy. For doctors, veterinary, you get subsidy from dairies and all other things. Goa is the best place to start dairy farm right now. You get as much of as 80% subsidy. Means if you spend 100 rupees, 80 rupees will be borne by government because they are having milk scarcity. So even they are giving subsidy to for tractor because people say I need tractor for buffalo farming. So frankly speaking, government is spending a lot of money in this sector. Of course, those money is coming from the taxpayers, which are paying the taxes and all other things. So I have not used any, and actually I don't give milk to the dairy also. That's what you are asking, right? If for ladies they are having 15% more subsidies than gents. So if you are having a business with your wife, you will get more subsidy.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
I have been to one tabela. They use hormonal injections to the buffaloes. How are these affecting us? And do you even use?
Okay, this is a very good point. What happens generally, this is a psychological factor. For example, tomorrow morning if I go there to milk, buffalo will not recognize me. She will say, I was working with her for 3 years, but tomorrow she will not recognize me. This is something psychological. Bhaiya has to do tapping, that buffalo should see the baby, and then buffalo will ready for milking. Cow, that problem is not there. As soon as you wash these things, the milk starts coming. But for buffalo, it has to do something more. So generally what happens, this is tiresome job. Sometimes people used to come to meet me and I was sitting there to tell them Marathi मध्ये पान्ना सोडवणं म्हणतात, पान्ना घालणं. So you have to सोड बाई दूध आता, give milk, like kind of thing. So sometimes it takes 2 minutes, sometimes 10 minutes, sometimes 30 minutes. So who will spend that time? So the great idea is just put 0.5 ml or 1 ml of oxytocin. So as soon as you put oxytocin, within a second the teats are ready for milking. Now this is a bad practice. Actually the fines are very heavy, but nobody cares. The major of the tabelas and major of the people, they are using it. But we don't use it because this is not a long... See, generally what happens in big tabelas, the buffalo, they bring buffalo, they milk it, and that buffalo goes for cutting, slaughtering. Because the slaughtering rate and our buffalo rate, there is not a big difference. If you are buying buffalo for 80,000, milking buffalo, and the same buffalo if they are purchasing for slaughtering, that will sell for 60 to 65,000 rupees. You are getting my point. So what they do, they take milk and then buffalo goes for slaughtering. Those people can do those things, because whenever you are playing with hormones, then the problem arises for conception. Your buffalo will not be pregnant for the second time, because that is the same injection which is used for human being for induced pain during labor, pain during the delivery. So what happens? Some part of that comes through the milk, and generally that chemical is inactive for woman, but for male that is a problem, because that oxytocin is converting you from male to female kind of thing. So that's the problem. That's why the people are suffering also.
Hello.
Yeah.
First of all, thank you Mohan sir for making our evening very nice. माझा प्रश्न त्याच संदर्भात आहे. इवन मी एक शेतकऱ्याचाच मुलगा आहे, आणि इंजेक्शन वगैरे जेव्हा द्यायची वेळ येते म्हणजे की स्टार्टिंगला एकदा म्हैस दूध द्यायला लागते जेव्हा ती बेबी तयार होतो तिचा, तर जनरली पहिल्या 1 महिन्यामध्ये ते बेबी डाय होण्याचे चान्सेस जास्त असतात आणि त्यामुळेच कदाचित ते इंजेक्शन वगैरे द्यायला लागतं. तर तुम्ही याच्यावर काय कमेंट करू शकता की त्या 1 महिन्यामध्ये ते बेबी डाय होण्याचे का जास्त चान्सेस असतात? इट मे बी बिकॉज ऑफ न्यूट्रिशनल इम्बॅलन्स ऑर समथिंग.
पहिल्या वर्षी माझ्याकडं 10 बेबी होते, त्यातले फक्त 3 जगले, 7 बेबी गेले. कशामुळे गेले आम्हाला कळत नव्हतं. म्हणजे बेबी का मरतात हे आम्हाला कळत नव्हतं. म्हणजे आम्हाला आज कळायचं की बेबी आज संध्याकाळी मरणार आहे, ती बेबी मरायची. पण बेबी मेल्यानंतर म्हस दूध द्यायची बंद होते. इट स्टॉप्स बिकॉज ते फक्त पिल्लू कुठं आहे. Now what happens? Now you have to sit there. It's a very patience काम. मतलब there are 2 options. First, inject it, take a milk, but from that day, every day you have to inject it. Every day. So what generally people do? Inject it, and just sell it for slaughtering. Second option is you divert that buffalo from baby to somewhere else. For example, somebody sits in front of little bit whatever. भरडा त्यांना आवडतो, भरडा टाकत बसा पुढं आणि पाठीमाग कोणीतरी पाना सोडायला बसा. मेथी इज अ गुड लॅक्टेटिंग थिंग. सो आम्ही काय करतो, जर का असं झालं तर 2-3 दिवस त्याला सगळं झाल्यानंतर सगळ्यात शेवटी बसायचं आणि मग त्या दिवशी ती दूध देतच नाही. व्हॉटेवर इट मे बी, रात्रभर ती ओरडत राहते. दुसऱ्या दिवशी सकाळी दूध एवढं साठलेलं असते की तिला दिल्याशिवाय पर्याय राहत नाही. सो जनरली दूध बंद कधीच होत नाही. देशी गाईचं दूध बंद होतं जनरली. ते खूप अटॅचमेंट असेल तर देशी गाई दूध द्यायचं बंद करतात. पण म्हशी दुसरे मध्ये एका वेळी येतात म्हशी. मग त्यांना 2 वेळा आणायचं असेल तर त्यासाठी वेगळा वेळ काढावा लागतो. अँड दॅट्स लिटरली साधना केल्यासारखं आहे ते. बसून रोज अर्धा तास दूध काढायचं आणि एकदा ते 2 वेळा द्यायला चालू केली की देन दे डोंट नीड इट. देन जसं बेबी असतं तसं त्याला दुसरी काहीतरी सवय लावायला लागते. किंवा पुढे भरडा ठेवा आणि मग धार काढायला बसा, किंवा पुढे कोणतरी काठी घेऊन त्याच्या शिंगावर आपटत बसा. सो डिस्ट्रॅक्शन अँड देन काइंड ऑफ थिंग. पण आम्ही इंजेक्शन वापरत नाही फ्रॉम डे फर्स्ट. तेच दूध आमच्या घरात येतं. तिथं जे दूध निघतं तेच आमच्या घरात येतं.
बेबी डाइंग, व्हॉट इज द रिझन बिहाइंड दॅट?
ऍक्च्युली ह्याच्यामध्ये सगळ्यात एक मोठा प्रॉब्लेम असा आहे की व्हेटरनरी डॉक्टर जे आहेत एक्सपर्ट ते खूप कमी आहेत. म्हणजे BVSC झालेला माणूस आयदर MVSC करतो किंवा BVSC झालेला माणूस IAS होतो किंवा MPSC करतो. आमच्या गावात कुणी नाही आहे BVSC MVSC केलेलं. सो आमच्या गावात जे व्हेटरनरी डॉक्टर आहेत ते LSS कोर्स केलेले आहेत. म्हणजे 6 महिन्याचा कोर्स केलेला. ते येतात, ते कन्सिव्ह करतात आर्टिफिशियल AI, आर्टिफिशियल इन्सिमिनेशन आणि काय बारीक सारीक टेम्परेचर असेल हे असेल. सो ज्यावेळी आम्ही विचारायचो आमचं बेबी डेथ झालं, नाही पिल्लू मरतातच, दॅट इज कॉमन. सो दॅट वॉज द आन्सर. सो पहिल्या वर्षी आमची 7 पिल्ली मिळली, दुसऱ्या वर्षी आमची 5 पिल्ली मिळली. आता ह्या मागच्या वर्षापासून डेथ रेट खूप कमी आला. आता आम्ही काय करतो की जंतू म्हणून एक केअर घेतो, म्हणजे वर्म्स. सो आणि दुसरी गोष्ट म्हणजे आमच्या लक्षात यायचं नाही, ती पिल्ले माती खायची, जिथं बांधलेलं असायचं ते माती खायची, त्यामुळे ते प्रॉब्लेम यायचा त्यांना. आता कसं केलंय की एक भैया आम्ही असा ठेवलेला आहे की जो फक्त ते पिल्लांची केअर करतो अँड दॅट वर्क्स बिकॉज दोज आर 1 लाख रुपीज आफ्टर 3 years. See how I see a baby is a 1 lakh rupees FD after 3 years. You have to spend 20,000 rupees and then you will get 80,000 rupees. So even I calculated the salary of that bhaiya, that is okay. If you are having 10 babies, then that's worth. आणि ह्याच्याकडे बघायचा दृष्टिकोन असंच आहे, बेबी मरतच हाच दृष्टिकोन. इनफॅक्ट जर का तो मेल असेल तर ते मरू देच म्हणतात, त्याला दाखवतच नाही. आमच्याकडे असं आहे, मेल आहे तिकीट आहे, मग त्याला ते पिल्लू दाखवतच नाही तर ते पहिल्या दिवसापासून बिन पिल्लाचं दूध द्यायला चालू करतात. बरेच लोक असं आहेत की ते पिल्लू, देर इज वन मोर ऑप्शन, दिस इज लिटल बिट फनी पार्ट, डमी. डमी. सो व्हॉट दे डू, समजा बेबीचं डेथ झालं ना तर ते बेबीचं स्किन काढून त्याच्यामध्ये भुसा करून त्यासमोर ठेवायचं. So that works. As soon as you put that, cow starts milking. त्याच्या पुढचा ऍडव्हान्स सांगतो. जसं आता आपलं कसं पहिला सिम कार्ड मोठं होतं, आता नॅनो सिम आलंय, मायक्रो सिम आहे. सो दे जस्ट टेक अ पार्ट ऑफ टेल, दॅट इज ऑल्सो सफिशियंट फॉर बफेलो टू स्टार्ट मिल्किंग. सो आमच्याकडे समजा ते बेबी मेल आहे तर आमचं भैया काय करतो ते टेल पार्ट आहे तो कट करून ते शिवून ठेवतात. You just give the smell to the buffalo and then it starts milking. माझ्यासाठी ते पण डिपॉझिट आहे बिकॉज देर इज नो मेल बेबी अवेलेबल इन माय एरिया. इवन इफ आय वॉन्ट टू सेल मेल बेबी there are two things. First thing, AI is till some extent it is okay, but for some buffaloes they have to, now we have our own bull in our farm, so many people come to our farm to have the insemination. The thing is that if everybody is killing that and if you are raising, you are in profit because you are looking at a different perspective. I sell male baby equivalent to female baby. That's how I do the thing.
Yeah, that would be the last session for this. That would be the last question for this session.
Sir,
we have another speaker lined up. Rupesh,
last question.
You can ask the question after the event ends. Sir will be there.
Yeah, you can call me. You can have my cell number and you can call me. Okay, thanks a lot.